welcome to today's Big Brother 19 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Janet Joseph. Janet's my mommy's name. Okay. Janet, thank you so much for your support. You're so awesome and we so appreciate it. And if you guys want to be house guest of the day like Janet, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, so yesterday they had the Power Veto competition and it's one of my favorites every season. So the players were Alex, Matt, Jason, Elena, Paul, and Mark, which means Cody does not have a chance to keep himself safe in this Power Veto. He is very vulnerable to a backdoor right now. So this was the Dirty Santa competition with punishments and prizes. And somebody asked what Dirty Santa means. That's like the game where somebody gets a prize and then the next person out of the competition gets to either open something new or take that prize, you know what I mean? So it's like swapsies. And this competition was also sponsored by Outback Steakhouse. It's a double whammy. Okay, so let's talk about the prizes first. So let's get this out of the way. Matt won the Power Veto, which is funny because he finally won a competition this season, but he didn't even win it. This is that comp where you can lose and still get the Power of Veto. So he did not win this, okay? We'll get to that in a minute. But Elena, he ended up with a veto. Elena won $5,000. Mark won a trip to Colorado. And some of the house guests will also be enjoying a dinner with Outback Steakhouse food and, you know, the whole setup in the backyard. I'm not sure yet exactly who's going to be enjoying that, but I will have more information on that when it happens. I think they're actually doing the dinner tonight, as in Sunday night, I think. So we'll be talking about that in tomorrow's spoiler. But now let's talk about the punishments, because you know this is the good stuff. Okay, and they really did deliver with the punishments. So Jason will be wearing the Extrematard for 1 week. Yeah. Alex will be cooking hot dogs and doing other various camp counselor activities for 1 week. And Paul will be tethered to the house guest of his choice for 48 hours. Okay, so I'm going to have more details on the prizes and punishments throughout the spoiler because I want to give you guys like a better idea of what's going on with the punishment and like how long it lasts, whatever, all the rules and stuff. So we'll get to that. But when the feeds come back after the competition, Alex is pissed. She was up in the HOH room with Jason, Josh, and Christmas. A few other people were in and out of the room, whatever. So Alex is saying that she and Elena were the last two standing in this competition, and they made some sort of deal that they wouldn't give each other punishments. Apparently, Elena wins the competition. She gets this awful hot dog punishment, and she's like, I'm gonna take that money from Alex. Ah! So she gave Alex the hot dog punishment. She did not even go for the veto, even though she's up on the block. That's bold, girl. That's bold. So Josh says Elena is a greedy, selfish player, and she's going to do whatever it takes for her to win this. Isn't everyone? So he's like, she doesn't care about anyone else. Why is she going to care about these people that want her out? Okay, she's realizing now that she is disposable. This is her second week in a row as a pawn. She is not a happy camper. Pun intended. So Josh is saying that Elena is lethal, and Cody, you know, if they keep him around, he's just going to be isolated. He doesn't have anybody right now. So he's kind of like, maybe we should get rid of Elena, which is not surprising because Josh wanted to get rid of Elena last week. So he's like, ooh, golden opportunity. So then Josh is saying, like, let's not rush it. We have a little time to think about it before the Power Veto ceremony. So then, you know, maybe we will decide that Elena should go this week. We'll see. All right, so then they see Kevin walking up to the HOH room on the spy screen, and this makes me so sad because Alex is like, don't talk game in front of him. He's been acting weird. This is your ally, and you're like, don't talk game in front of him. So gross. So then Paul comes up to the room. He lets everybody know that he picked Christmas to be tethered to him for 48 hours. He was going for the entertainment factor here. He was trying to decide between Christmas and Cody. I would have loved to have seen him tethered to Cody. I think that would have been hilarious. That would have been some good TV. But he ended up picking Christmas. He thinks it'll be funny, like with her on her scooter and stuff. We'll get there. Okay, so then they're talking about the competition again. I mean, they talked about it a lot last night. So they're saying, oh, Elena should have taken the trip from Mark instead and given him the punishment. You know, if she really wanted money, she could have cashed in that trip, you know, and got gotten the money from that, and then she would have been able to keep the deal with Alex. So Alex is bitching nonstop about Elena. She's like, I don't make as much money as her, and she gets money from her parents. Ah! Okay, so they talk about what's going to happen this week. They're planning on having Matt use the veto on Jason, because why would Matt use the veto on himself? And they're going to put up Cody in his place. I mean, Cody's been the backdoor plan this whole week. They're still going to go through with that. So Alex is saying, let's just let Elena sweat it up on the block. They were going to do that anyway. They told Elena they were going to use the veto on her, but that was never going to happen. No way they were going to use the veto on Elena and leave Jason up on the block. So then Elena is downstairs in the kitchen, and she's basically like, sorry, not sorry. You know, she's talking to a few people. She's saying, I really need the money. She almost did take the veto, but everybody's been making her feel so safe this week. She's like, whatevs, I'm going to go for this cash. I got to pay my rent. So she says she does feel bad for Alex somewhat, but like, oh well. So Raven's like, I definitely would have taken the money too. She says, sorry, like, she's got bills to pay, whatever. So Elena's like, yeah, I get it. Like, it makes sense. She's having a really hard time believing that Alex wouldn't have done the same thing. And I have to agree. I feel like Alex would have done something like that and been like, it's fine. Like, I can do whatever I want. But when somebody else does it, alright. So then Elena and Cody were chatting in the Rose bedroom. And Elena's like, should I have not done that? Is it going to make me more of a target than I already am? And Cody's like, yeah, but you're already at the bottom anyway, so like, how are you going to go any lower? Which is true, because once Cody's gone, Mark and Elena are the next targets for sure. So Cody is saying he would have done the same thing. That's a little scary if you're doing the same stuff that Cody would. But he's saying he freaking loved it. He was looking at everybody's faces when it happened, and he was seeing their reactions, and he was just like, yes, yes, yes. And then he makes a really good point here. He says, every time one of them does something, it's justified. And every time you do something, it's wrong. Bingo! Hey, Jess, can you spell bingo? Yeah. So then he's telling Elena, you need to just take what you can get. Let them sulk. This is the first time that anyone's freaking taken a shot at them, and it's not even like a game thing, so they can deal with it. So Elena's like, yeah, I know, but they're going to use the veto on Jason now, and I'm going to be up on the block next to you. That was the plan anyway. Don't kid yourself, Elena. Come on. So Cody's like, yeah, Matt's a real piece of shit. Because he's just going to do whatever Paul and his crew want with that veto. Again, it blows my mind when people are up on the block and they win the veto and then they don't use it on themselves. But like, what? Okay, so Elena is finally realizing that she's going to be a perpetual pawn until they decide to vote her out. Yup. Okay, like I said yesterday, Katy Perry, plastic bag floating in the wind. Okay, so Matt is being a good little boy. He went up to the HOH room for his instructions. By the way, before this game talk that I'm about to mention, Raven walks in and says she chipped her tooth on a beer bottle. And they're all just like, oh my god, somebody get this girl a bubble. They're tired of it, okay? Just before this, I can't remember actually now if it was just before or just after. I want to say it was just before. Raven was listing all of the injuries that she's acquired since being in the house. I can't. Okay. So then Paul asks Matt, you're using the POV on Jason, right? And Matt's like, oh, yeah, dude, as long as that's what Alex wants. So Alex confirms, like, yeah, you use the veto on Jason. We're going to put up Cody. It's great. So then Alex continues crabbing about Elena. And she says, if I was in her position, she would not have taken Elena's money. But she wouldn't have taken the punishment either, okay? She would have taken the trip from Mark, and then she would have given him the punishment. You know what it sounds like? I think a couple people fumbled here. Because Alex, it sounds like, made some sort of mistake. She could have taken something else. I don't know. Like, it didn't work out the way it should have, and there was not good communication here. So I think a few people were at fault. But anyway, Alex is more upset that they made this deal and then Elena went back on it. Okay, meanwhile, Elena and Mark have a game chat in the Rose bedroom, and oh my god, we have some signs of life. It might not be the most intelligent life we've ever seen, but we're seeing signs of life. So Elena's saying that she thinks she's going to go in the double eviction now because Alex is really pissed at her. girl, you've been in danger for a while. You've been in danger for a while. So then Mark is saying we need to win this next HOH competition. You know, they both won comps this week. If they can just keep that momentum going and get this HOH, maybe they'll have a fighting shot here. So he thinks that Alex and Jason have their backs moving forward. Elena's like, are you kidding me? No freaking way. Thank you. She's up on the block this week. Does Mark not realize that he would have been up on the block too if he didn't win safety? Because that absolutely would have happened. But then Mark is saying, you know, I've been thinking a lot about what we're going to do once Cody's gone. We're going to need to come up with some sort of game plan here. So he's saying he wants to approach Matt and Raven about working together, but he's scared. They're going to tell Paul immediately. Oh my god. He should be scared because they are going to tell Paul. So Elena's like, yeah, I've started talking to Raven a little bit, trying to open up that door. And Elena's saying she feels good with Matt and Raven at this point. Ugh, no. So then she's worried, though, about Paul, actually, because she thinks that he is working with Alex and Jason. Yeah. Isn't that obvious? I don't know about working with, but telling them what to do, and they're following it. So then Mark is saying if he wins HOH next week, he wants to target Josh because Josh is always dragging his name through the mud. It's messing up his game. So Elena says that freaking sucks because Josh is basically just there, you know? He's not good at competitions. The HOH he won was a crapshoot. He's annoying, but he's pretty much harmless at this point. So she's saying maybe we should just go rogue and put up Alex and Paul. Yes. And Mark's like, you know what? That's actually not a bad idea. Would they do it though? I don't know. So Elena is like, I don't know if Paul would actually come after us directly though. She doesn't think that he would put them up. He totally would. But she thinks that he would get Alex and Jason to do it for him. What do you think happened this week? But seriously, why would you go after Alex and Jason when you can go after Paul, who is the one telling them what to do? Why wouldn't you, you know? I mean, I get that it's going to be really difficult to get rid of Paul because the votes are probably not there, but they're not even, it seems like they're not even considering it. It's crazy. So then Mark is talking about what he would have done if he won the power of veto this week. So I'm really glad he didn't because it's not good. I think Elena's pretty glad he didn't win too. He says he would leave the nominations the same and try to get the votes together to get rid of Matt. While that sounds amazing, I feel like there's no way that that would actually happen. And Elena's like, no, nobody would have gone along with that. I would have been gone. So it's a damn good thing that you did not win the power of veto. All right, so then Mark brings up something that he said before. He says everyone is just following Paul and he's sick of it. Me too. That's enough. Enough. But he needs to do something about it, you know? He's acknowledged this. He knows it's happening, but now he needs to get some numbers and do something about it. So Elena asks a very important question. Is this season a dud? Mark says no because of Paul. He thinks that Paul is very exciting and people are enjoying it. I mean, yeah, there's been fights and shit, but like, I want to see more gameplay. Alright, so then Cody last night was socializing with people up in the HOH room. Wild. I mean, he's laughing. He's seemingly having a good time. They're talking about Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I love that show. And they were having a good time. There were a lot of different topics covered, some game talk. At one point, they were discussing the first HOH competition, and Josh was talking about the golden apple that he got, and it gave him safety for the week. And then Paul says, they put the golden apple there for me. You know that, right? Cut the feeds! Cut the feeds! Paul is talking about production. It may have been fixed. Cut the feeds. So then Paul's like, I mean, they're just assuming that I would want to go for it because I'm the only vet this season and I would want safety. Oh boy. Alright, so then let's talk about some fun stuff for a little bit. The punishments begin. Jason is the first one to start his punishment. Like I said before, he's going to have to wear the extreme attard for 1 week. So this is like a blue, pink, and yellow outfit. He's got a yellow cape, and he's got some yellow and pink fringe, long fringe on his sleeves. It's a very loud ensemble. But he also has this yellow helmet on with a huge pink X, like a hot pink X. And apparently it's really, really heavy. Like really heavy. And he's got to wear this helmet even when he's showering. He can take it off to shampoo his hair, and then he's got to put it back on while he's showering. It's wild. So in addition to wearing the outfit, every time Big Brother makes an announcement for him, he has to yell, "I'm so extreme!" and like make an X with his arms and legs. So if he's like sitting down, he's got to get up and make that X and go, "I'm so extreme!" And some of the messages are so funny. They're just like, "Jason is so extreme when he's just lounging around." Like it's funny because they pick up on what he's doing at the time and they make fun of it. So good job, Big Brother. So let's slip right back into the game talk just for a second before we get to the other punishments. A few minutes later, Alex and Josh are up in the HOH room, and Josh is like, "I don't think we need to go for Elena this week, but it's good because now everybody sees how selfish she is." And he's like, "I mean, but if you do want to get rid of her, I'm down for whatever you want to do, Alex." So they're talking a bunch of crap about Elena. I mean, I would say this stuff, but it's like super redundant, and I already said it. Like, they think she's greedy, whatever. She's out for herself. Duh. So then Josh is saying he wants Alex to call her out, and Alex is like, "I can't do that now. We're in the jury." She doesn't want to risk pissing off future jury members that could be voting for her in the final two. So then she's like, "This is what's going to happen. We're going to get Matt to pull down Jason with a veto." That's not going to be hard. And then they're going to let Elena sweat it out on the block. Now, the plan is still for Cody to go home. But if Elena acts like a bitch all week, we'll send her home. Okay, so Alex says, "You don't F with the HOH. Oh my goodness. Okay, back to the punishments. Paul and Christmas begin their punishment next. It's going to last for 48 hours, and they are dressed up, like completely decked out, like skydivers. And I mean tandem skydivers. You know when you're a beginner and you got to go with your instructor and you're like freaking hooked up to them? It's like that. So they got helmets, they got goggles that they have to wear at all times, they got these jumpsuits and like all this gear. I feel like one of them was wearing like a pack. And they're tethered together pretty closely, and they have to sleep like that too. They can only unhook for the bathroom and the diary room, and while your tandem buddy is in the bathroom or the diary room, you have to sit outside the door and wait. Oh my god. Okay, so this is kind of a relief because Paul's not really going to be able to scheme as much for 48 hours. So like, oh, thank God, because I was feeling exhausted. Okay, so then Alex began her punishment, and it is rough. Oh my gosh, she definitely got the worst in the bunch. So this is for 1 whole week. She's dressed up like a camp counselor / park ranger. Fine. But then she's got to carry around a shit ton of heavy camping equipment. She's got this huge pack on her back, which has 2 bags attached to it, like a sleeping bag and a tent. Then she's got to hold 2 heavy things in her hands. And I mean, she's got to move around the whole house with this. It's like on OTT when Shelby had the golf clubs, but it's so much worse. And then every time Big Brother plays this bugle, like over the loudspeaker, yay. She has to pitch a tent, set up all of her equipment, like her camp chair and everything, and make hot dogs for all the house guests. So nobody is allowed to help her with any of the setup or any of the cooking or anything. They're not allowed to go in her tent. And this punishment continues even if it's an indoor lockdown. Big Brother has set up this designated campground on the Sky Bridge. It's got like fake grass and everything. It's so much fun. So Alex is pissed. You could see when she comes out of the DR, she's just like, so she says, "This is what happens when you make deals not to give punishments." And she said this within earshot of Elena, and Elena totally heard, and she was just like, all right. So then Alex is saying like she can't believe that Elena hasn't apologized yet. And at this point, Elena is just like not feeling as bad. She's just like, no, Alex is a freaking idiot. She could have gotten a different prize other than the 5,000. Like, she made a mistake here. Elena's not going to feel bad about it. Whatever. The tension is rising. Okay, so then the first bugle goes off. Can that be like the do circus music? Okay. So Alex is totally struggling with the tent because it's not just like some freaking pop-up tent and nobody can help her. So she gets that all together. And then Cody is telling her how to use the grill safely so she doesn't freaking blow up everybody in the backyard because she's got to like hook up this little propane tank. That seems really dangerous to me, but okay. So at one point too, Alex put the hot lid from the grill down on the ground and it started to melt the AstroTurf. Oh! Alright, so then Alex serves up the hot dogs. After she's done making them, she has to deliver them to everybody in the house. And this is good news for the have-nots this week, which they haven't done at this point. They get to eat the hot dogs as well. So they'll have a little extra food this week in addition to the slab. So that's nice for them. So then the punishment continues. After Alex is done passing out the hot dogs, she's got to pack all that shit up and, you know, walk around with it. So right after she packs it up the first time, the bugle went off again. Yo, BB is savage! Oh my god! It was crazy. And you know what? I don't feel bad for her because Alex was all like, these soy dogs are disgusting and I can't believe people eat this. And she's saying like she hates liberals and people who eat soy dogs. Whatever. I'm just gonna... Just go eat your dirty hot dogs and leave the soy dogs for us. Okay, so anyway, moving on. Paul and Christmas, well, Paul and Christmas, because she was tethered to him, were making their rounds last night because Paul wants to make sure that Cody is still going this week, even though everybody's really pissed at Elena right now. So he's like, Cody's trying to reinsert himself already. He's got to go. Don't forget that. So everybody's like, all right, man, chill. All right. So then at one point last night, Cody was alone in the hot tub and he starts talking to the camera a little bit. Thank you. And he says, in theory, he should be going home this week. He knows, obviously, he's the backdoor target. But he's excited because Elena seems to have pissed off a lot of people. A lot. Like Alex, big time. So he's like, maybe Elena will go instead. He's got to see what's going on here. So he calls Kevin over and Kevin's like, oh yeah, what's going on? So Cody asks him, with what Elena did that change anything as far as what's going to happen this week? And Kevin's like, I mean, maybe there's a chance. So he's telling Cody, you should talk to Matt because he's got the veto. You should talk to Alex, who's going to be putting up a replacement nominee, and see what you can do. And Cody's like, well, I don't really have any pull with them. Do you think maybe you could talk to Alex and Jason for me? So Kevin agrees to talk to them. And, I mean, he does talk to them later, but he's just saying, like, Cody was asking me if anything could be done, and I told him no. So, I mean, he's not really vouching for Cody at this point. But meanwhile, it's spreading around the house now that Cody has a daughter. If you guys remember, I mentioned yesterday that Cody opened up to Kevin about it, and then Kevin, a few hours later, told Paul about it. So then chain reaction, Paul tells Jason, Jason tells Alex, and Alex and Jason were talking, and they think that Cody's just trying to use this for sympathy, trying to like make people have this emotional connection with him, and they even think that he might be making it up. Are you freaking kidding me? That would be sick. Are you kidding me? So then Kevin has a quick game chat with Mark. Mark is saying he's worried that he's the #1 target once Cody leaves the house. And Kevin's like, well, you're up there. I'd say top 3 targets. That was not good. Not a good accent. But anyway, yeah, he says you're in the top 3 right now. And he's saying, I don't know why. And Mark's like, well, I didn't really align with the best people in the beginning, so I guess that's why. So Kevin is like, yeah, but Alex is really mad at Elena right now, so I mean, that could be good for you, I guess. So he basically tells Mark, you gotta win some comps or your ass is gonna be going to jury. So then Mark goes and talks to Elena in the bathroom area, and he's like, Elena, we really have to win HOH on Thursday. He shares that he just talked to Kevin and he knows that he's in trouble for sure after Cody goes home. So they're trying to figure out how they can make some moves here. Are they going to go ahead and try and align with Matt and Raven? I don't see that working out. But what other options do they have, man? It's not looking good for them. So Elena then says she would love to backdoor Alex. The freaking tension is really building up between Alex and Elena. There's gonna be a freaking drag, what is that? Something drag out, drag down. I don't know that phrase. Whatever.
Knockdown, drag out.
Knockdown, drag out fight. With Elena and Alex this week. It's getting crazy. The storm is a ruin. So Elena also says she's kind of over Paul. And she says that she wants to call him out because she knows that he's telling people that she's his target. But then he's telling her, oh, once Cody's gone, there's not really a clear target because everybody's got their own paths they want to follow. Bullshit! So yes, Elena, wake up. Open those eyes. Be woke. So then Mark, oh my god, he's got to ruin this by trying to talk about his feelings. He's like, do you like me? No! Get out of here, dude. We're trying to have game chat. Okay, so then, also last night, Jason got a few extreme calls. He had to get up out of bed and be like, I'm so extreme. And then Alex was woken up with a bugle call a little bit after 4 a.m. She was not happy about it. So after she made her hot dogs, she was delivering them to everybody in their beds, and they're all just like, thanks. And they put it on like the bedside tables. And then Cody is the only one in the have-not room, so he wakes up and he's trying to talk to her. And yes, he's telling Alex, girl, I'm never coming after you in this game. You know, I like you. I want to see you go far and do well. And Alex is like, I know, man, but it's not me. She says that she's up against a wall. Everybody wants her to do this. And she's saying, I don't have the power veto. I don't vote this week. I just put up the replacement nominee. That's kind of a big deal. But Cody's saying, like, well, if you put me up, I'm gone. So maybe don't do that. You know, I'm not coming after you. And he's making a good point. Alex is taking out Paul's target, you know? This is somebody else's target. He is not coming after Alex, and I totally believe that. So he's saying, I'll be able to help you out. I can win some competitions, and again, I'm not coming after you. So he's telling Alex, just consider it. She doesn't want all these people to be mad at her. I mean, I do get that, but at the same time, like, it's effed up, man. So then Cody ends up going outside as Alex is packing up, and Alex is like, look, Jason and I have nothing against you. She says that Jason is the only person that she cares about in this house, and she doesn't want to put him in jeopardy by going against everybody this week and taking somebody else out, you know, because she doesn't want him to suffer because of that. So Cody's like, yeah, I get that. But Alex keeps saying that she's not the one against him. She's basically telling him, you're going up and you're going to have to campaign this week. Maybe you can, you know, scrounge the votes together. So Alex did tell Jason, I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, that they should try and get Cody to believe that this was Paul's move so that if they are in the final two against Paul, Cody will vote for them instead of Paul. Alright, so she's putting that plan into action. Anyway, Alex reports these conversations with Cody to Paul almost immediately while Christmas is in the bathroom and he's waiting outside the door. So she's like, yeah, Cody came to me and he's trying to save his butt right now, and I told him that I'm not the one who wants him out. Paul is pleased. He's like, excellent. Okay, so then Alex got another bugle call around 10:30 a.m. This time they were on an indoor lockdown, so she had to set up her camp on the Sky Bridge, hookah, and they gave her an electric stove to use inside. Seems a lot safer. And every time she's got to lug this shit around, so all the time, and every time she gets a bugle call, she just freaking, she's talking a lot of shit about Elena. She calls her a greedy whore, a lot of mean things. Not to her face, though. So then she delivered a hot dog to Jason as he was showering with his helmet on, and he ate the hot dog in the shower. Ugh, there's just something so wrong about food in a shower. Like, ugh, no. Okay, so later, it was time for the have-not reveal. A little bit late this week. So Alex takes off her Big Brother counselor hat and puts on that petty baseball cap. And she says, in honor of Elena's birthday, I promised I wouldn't make her a have-not because Elena's birthday is this week. And she says, and because my promises are worth more than any dollar amount and I don't want to embarrass myself on national TV by going against it, as I promised, Elena, you will not be a have-not. Happy early birthday. I hope you enjoy your week. And Elena's just like, thank you. I mean, that was super, super obnoxious, that speech. Wow. And guess what? It wasn't up to Alex anyway. She did not choose the have-nots, so that was totally unnecessary. But she reads the card. It's like the have-nots this week are the first 4 out of the HOH competition. So that would be Kevin, Mark, Paul, and Jason. So Paul's like, wow, I think I'm going to be going for that temptation key because it's going to be very uncomfortable for him and Christmas to try and squeeze in the have-not bed. It would only be for one night, but still, that's going to be rough, especially with her freaking cast on her leg. So hold that thought. I'm going to pull Cody. Hold that thought. We'll be talking about that more tomorrow, and tomorrow should also be the power veto ceremony, so should be a good time. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and until tomorrow, much love.